Welcome back to our channel. In this episode, we leave the beautiful, stunning Kwass and travel to Koringkorrelbaai, bypassing a couple of the other campsites which we will highlight en route. So come along and enjoy the journey with us. So we've just left our campsite at Kwass and not far from there is the next campsite called Varswater, or freshwater. 4 campsites here. Very different coastline, not that beautiful bay with that beach, but still very nice. There's a bit of sand and then the rocks in front. So the next one along is called Bamboos campsite. Also 4 campsites, 2 enviroloos, quite nice and close to the sea. Again, no beach, just rocks. There's some beautiful rocks around here as well. Actually a very protected campsite, sits lower than a lot of the others, and so if you're getting some of the winds, I think you'll be quite well protected here. Right, the next one in line is a place called Klip. Unfortunately, there are people camping there, so we don't want to be intrusive. But where the camp set up there with that tent and everything, there's a nice little larper there with a little Klip, or what do they call it, a rock at an angle, sort of protecting. Quite nice. Again, no beach, but rocks. And that seems to be a very private, nice little camp. Just 2 sites there. But I would imagine you'd want to only be there on your own. The 2 sites are very close together. Right, we're at our next campsite. It's for the next 6 nights. This is Koringkorrelbaai. It's one of our favorites. We've camped here once before. We've got an old video on this campsite as well. But there are 5 campsites here, and there are 3 enviroloos, and it's got the most magnificent long beach, which is really beautiful. And then right in front of us, these stunning boulders. Right, so we've got camp set up, solar panels out, side tents on, wild earth rooftop tents on. Took a little bit of extra time to set up camp today, because in the bay there's this pod of beautiful dolphins. It looks like a bit of a nursery school, lots of youngsters there. So I've been trying to film, but not much success yet. But really nice, hopefully they stay. This is the inside of the rooftop tent. When it gets a bit breezy or too hot, we'll come and migrate into here. I'm just trying to find a bit of shade at the moment. And then these windbreak walls that they've put up with the braai area in the middle. Call them a larp or whatever you like, but this is really nice. And really close to the sea. These beautiful boulders next to us. And then the bay with all the dolphins. A really nice walk along that beach all the way to that furthest point. Right, and so today we are going to cook our paella in the cob. And so the ingredients are green peppers, onions, chorizo, chopped tomato, arborio rice. And then there's quite a few garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper and paprika. That's going to go into the hot coals, and we have some chicken stock, should be fish stock, but we prefer the chicken. Right, so we've got the coals ready, we've got the pan all hot and there's some oil in. Now we're going to add the chorizo, the onions and the peppers. And then we've got to fry that up, let all the nice oils come out of the chorizo. So it'll take a couple of minutes to fry that up, and then we'll go on to the next step. Right, stage 2. Then goes the garlic, quite a lot of garlic, there's 3 cloves in there. So that's going to go in and cook as well. And then also paprika. This is just the ordinary paprika, it's not the smoked paprika, unfortunately. That's all we have. But you can also add as much as you want. This recipe says around about a tablespoon, but you can add to your taste. Right, and we let that fry up a little bit quickly. Right, that's looking really good. Now we put in the rice, and then we're going to cook that in there for a couple of minutes.
What type of rice, Robin?
This is a paella rice, but it's basically arborio rice. So we do this, and this looks very similar to you would do with a risotto. So just get your rice all nicely coated in all this oil from the chorizo and the taste there. Right, looking good. So now we add about 4 cups of water, and then we're going to let that cook until that's all absorbed. Right, so that's what it looks like after 4 cups of water in there. Now we're going to cook that and reduce it down to there's no more liquid in there. Right, we forgot one ingredient. We were supposed to put the diced tomatoes in there. Because we're camping, we actually asked for a lot more tomato, but unfortunately we just don't have it. So that's 1 whole tomato, and I think
They basically want 4 tomatoes diced.
Right. Let that cook away. Right, so that's looking pretty much, the moisture's almost absorbed. That's taken around about 25 minutes. Now we're just going to do a bit of seasoning, a bit of salt, pepper, looking and smelling good. Right, then we're adding the stock. And then we let that cook as well, and also reduce down until the rice is also nicely cooked through as well. Oh wow, that's looking good. Right, so the next part we start adding the seafood, and we just put, these are prawns, frozen prawns that we brought with us, and get them all around in there. We are probably putting in more seafood than the recipe calls for, but
I reckon we need about 6 people to help us eat this.
so traditionally you'd use prawns in the shell, but we don't have that. And then these are mussels that we harvested this morning. And just a word on that, you do need a permit. We're in a national park, there are restrictions, but anyway, you must have your license to gather these things, which we do have. So we're going to tuck these in, and as they're open, their beautiful juices will just come out, and that's just going to add to the whole flavor of this whole dish. Again, probably more mussels than we really need in here, But I think this is probably going to be a meal, Delia, that's going to last us a couple of days by the
And
looks of it.
that's our quota. You never take more than you need. You're
Correct.
only allowed a certain amount.
Correct.
Correct?
Well, we're well under that. Well, there we go. That's. We let that cook around for about 15 minutes. Let that open up. Let all the juices run. Flavor it more. Right. That is the end result. So we're going to serve that up, and wow, let's hope it tastes as good as it should looks like. But I think the traditional paella is probably more dry than this. There's quite a lot of liquid in there, but that's the best we can do out here in Namaqua. So there we have it, paella a la Namaqua. And so we were paid a surprise visit by the local farmer and author by the name of Gert Engelbrecht, who goes by the name Gert Sarrisam, named after his farm. There will be a bit more detail in the descriptions below for those that are interested to know more about this fascinating character and the stories that he writes about the local people and the Namaqua people, and just lovely storytelling. Day 2 at Koringkorrelbaai. We woken up this morning very heavily mist, pretty chilly, wet mist. So this is the true Namaqua coastline showing its teeth. This can happen here. We have had beautiful days for 8 days, and then suddenly we wake up and it's just mist. So after around about 8 days of beautiful weather, some breeze, a little bit of rain, sometimes a bit of mist, today this northwester really kicked in, really chilly, windy, and the sea has gone wild. But still beautiful here, and it has made life a little bit more difficult, hiding away from the wind, trying to cook in the wind. That's what wild camping is about, isn't it? It's whatever it throws at you.
Okay, due to the fact that we got a very, very windy day, we decided to just bung everything into the cob pot, pan actually. It was olive oil and chopped up onion and chopped up tomato, chicken legs, chopped up potato, and I said onion, yeah. Basil, oregano, salt and pepper, and water. And we've got it on about 5 or 6 coals, which have turned white now, so it's ready to bring to the heat. And we'll see how that goes.
And so due to the weather just persisting with the strong winds and pretty chilly, we've decided to leave a few days early. So we're going to be travelling out on an alternative route, which we'll talk about shortly.
We packed up last night and got up very early this morning, and we've left Koringkorrelbaai because the weather's going to stay quite bad for the next few days. And we're just going to wing it now and see where we go to from here until we get to Zurich.
So this is the next campsite after Koringkorrelbaai, going north. This is Cederberg Noord. There are people camping here, so we're not going to be intrusive and go down. But it looks like there's 2 campsites by the looks of it. Quite nice, private. Just a rocky shoreline here. And so we will be leaving Namaqua in an alternative route. This road takes off from Cederberg Noord and travels inland to the gate called Sarrisam. And that is the same border gate where that author, Gert Sarrisam, has his farm. Beautiful road, and it's very nice, and you can avoid some of the deep sand going either back down to Groenrivier or going up to Spoegrivier. It's actually a really lovely entrance. It's not manned, but there is a radio at the gate, and then you just communicate with head office at Groenrivier, and then you can go in or leave from that point. Well worth the effort, and I will definitely be doing that one again. This is about the 4th gate, so quite a few gates along this road. I think there's about 10 more. Right, gate number 5. At least Didi is getting lots of exercise today. Right, gate number 6. These farmers have a great sense of humour because they're not far apart either. Probably around about, the one was about 200-300 metres, this one at least being about 400 metres. Yeah. We were warned, there are a lot of gates on this road, but it's a nice drive. Right, this is gate 7. And they keep on coming. You're getting your morning exercise.
Actually, I'm starting to feel a little bit more mobile.
So gate 8 was, we were lucky, that was open. And the rule here is, if the gates are open, you leave them open. They're closed, you close them. So this is gate 9. Right, we're at the intersection now where it comes out of these farm roads onto the main road, the Koringkorrelbaai road. This is gate 13, so 10, 11, 12, 13 were all open. That was a real bonus. But very interesting, beautiful drive along this road. So we're about to come off this road. We're very close to the N7 now, close to the little town of Gurries. It's been a beautiful drive. It's quite a scenic road, and never mind the gates, that's a bit of fun, but very nice. It's a way I would definitely probably enter or come out of Namaqua. Very pleasant. and so trying many places to get accommodation on the weekend. We ended up at Roshapan, but what a bonus this turned out to be. So come along and follow our travels and enjoy it with us as we enjoy traveling with you.